She walked into court expecting just 12 months, but what the judge heard next exposed a much bigger operation, multiple thefts, thousands of dollars, and a truth she couldn't talk her way out of. The question is, did she get lucky?
Morning. Are you Alexis Bajoa Cooper?
Yes.
And Ms. Bajoa Cooper was previously in court, entered a plea.
Routine court hearing, but don't get comfortable. A guilty plea, a light sentence cap, and a story that's about to get a lot bigger. The real question is, did she just get lucky? And Ms. Bajoa Cooper was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the state jail felony offense of theft of property. The agreement was for a cap of 12 months in the state jail prison. I received that brief report. If you both had an opportunity to review the report, defense, has your state has any additions or corrections?
Not from defend, none from the state, Your Honor.
All right, then.
I do have one brief witness if the court will allow him.
Sure, go ahead. We can call your witness.
The state calls Jennifer Shear.
Jennifer Shear and Miss Bajoa Cooper, if you'll just kind of step just to the corner right there. Closer. There you go. Miss Shear, you can come on up. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You may proceed. Would you please state your full name for the employer?
Marie Shar.
And Miss Shear, how are you employed?
I work at HEB and I'm with the Loss Prevention Department.
How long have you been with the Loss Prevention Department?
5 years.
And through your employment as a loss prevention officer with HEB, have you become familiar with the defendant Alexis Bajoa Cooper?
Yes.
Please explain briefly to the court how you have come to be familiar with her.
She originally came on our radar back in February of 24 when she started stealing from our stores in Montgomery County, and then she was pulled over shortly after stealing at a Conroe store, and that's how we were able to identify her.
And you understand that she's already pled guilty today to a state jail felony level theft for $3,547 worth of cosmetics and makeup from an HEB store in Conroe. You understand that, correct?
That's correct, and she committed that offense along with co-defendants Katia Green and Monique Wynn. Please briefly tell the court your familiarization with Katia Green and Monique Wynn. Both of those parties are part of an organized retail crime and a story, the group that we've been following about at the same time, and they have, in the Houston area, Katarina Green has, or stealing from our stores, about $56,000 worth of cosmetics. In Monique, I just object to any co-defendants' restitution amounts or what they've pled guilty to or found guilty of.
That's over. Go ahead. And then
Monique Grin was about $42,000, and they're part of a ring that was hitting our area for a short period of time.
And there it is. This isn't just shoplifting anymore. This is organized retail crime. Tens of thousands of dollars, multiple players. That changes everything legally. So ask yourself, should a coordinated theft ring still get treated like a low-level offense? During the period of from February the 24th through April the 24th, how many actual thefts did your investigation link to the defendant? 10 events, okay? For a total loss of how much? $8,956.50. Now, for the entire ring, what approximate dollar amount would you put on? Well, let's break it down. What about for defendant Wynn? How much would you attribute to her? About $42,800. And for the defendant Green, how much would you attribute to her? $56,000. Is it fair to say, in your opinion, that this group has been operating as an organized retail theft group? Yes. And have you, in your 5 years of experience in loss prevention, how would you rank this endeavor? This is about the second highest ring we've had in ATV. And you prepared a report. Okay. And you reviewed that report prior to testifying here today? Yes. I'll pass. No questions, Your Honor. Thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat. Judge, just if I may, I don't know what I was thinking today that I agreed to a cap of 12 months. I can certainly see how the court would be inclined to give this defendant more than 12 months. Well, actually, I do know what I was thinking. If you look at her criminal history, she actually has not been to prison before. She's got a number of misdemeanor thefts, at least arrests, not enough felonies that have actually been convicted and followed through that would get enhanced either. So, I mean, I could see my initial thought was the same. I wasn't quite sure where this came from, but I can see that it's not really enhanceable at this point based on any other felonies. So, Mr. Lane. Well, Your Honor, I'm just speaking for asking the court to follow the agreement that was entered court. It does have the ability to sentence her to 12 months in the state jail. She did have a 1244 in Harris County that she did 10 months in the county jail. She does have a pending case out of Hidalgo County. What had happened back in 2019 and 2021 is her father and her grandmother died, and then she did get involved with these thefts. That was a major setback for her. She does have custody of 3 children. She is a phlebotomist and has some other skills that she can earn money with. So we're asking that you follow it. She has a family law hearing the 24th of this month. We would ask you to send her the 12th in 10 months in the state jail. Mr. Way asked of the entire 12 months, Judge. Excuse me? I think she's benefiting from Mr. Lane's negotiation with me and working me down to a cap of 12. I'd ask for the entire full. Ms. Bajoa Cooper, one of the things that stood out to me in your pre-sentence report, well, a couple of things. One, your criminal history is ridiculous. It's when I start having to turn page after page after page, that's a problem. And your version of this about I didn't really know what was going on and I just went with somebody at the store and I didn't know what county I was in. You didn't know what county you were in because y'all were going from county to county to county. And still, you're not going to help yourself by saying anything right now, okay? Because Miss Shear was just here and has you on video at other stores doing the same things. So I don't dispute what she said under oath at all. I think Mr. Lane did an amazing job for you, and you are very lucky because he got you the cap of 12 months because you deserve a lot more, in my opinion. That's the moment. The judge is basically saying, legally, you're capped, but realistically, you dodged something much worse. This is how plea deals work. Even when the story gets uglier, the sentence can't go past the agreement. So what do you think? Justice served or too lenient?
At this time, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, and in cause number 24 DCCR 1296, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of the state jail felony offense of theft of property. Sentence you to a term of 12 months in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you waived your right to. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long...
Good morning. Are you Caden
All I can tell you,
Fontanet?
Ms. Bajoa Cooper, is that I hope you learn your lesson while you're in state jail and stop all of the stealing, because each time you do it, this is only going to get worse. It's going to get enhanced. You're going to get more time. At this point, you now have, I think, 2 felony convictions, and that's going to start adding up, and you're going to end up with a lot more time and going to TDC instead of state jail. Do you understand? All right, and go back to the bailiff.
Coleman, you said you have a witness or some evidence.
Actually, Judge, Mr. Rojas has graciously stipulated to the admission of the surveillance video from the convenience store in question. So
Okay.
I need to call my custodian record. With the court's permission, first of all, I'm offering states 1.
No objection.
Make that states 2 because states 1 was the plea admonishment documentation, please.
I'm offering states 2.
No objection.
States 2 is admitted.
Permission to publish.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I think that's all I wish to publish unless the court wants to see the entirety of the video.
But I think that's enough.
Okay.
Would you switch that back to the other?
All right, that's all I did. Yeah, back on camera, you mentioned.
Which you might too.
Oh, you want to come on?
Any other evidence, or witnesses?
So just brief argument if I may.
Any other evidence or witnesses for Mr. Rojas?
No, Your Honor, just like.
Mr. Rojas, you may make argument first.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Judge. And obviously, after seeing that video, it makes what we're asking for harder to do. And what we're here asking for this morning, Judge, is probation. Mr. Fontes, he is a young offender. I know the court is tired of hearing the same story over and over again, young guys with guns in here. He's got a limited criminal history. I believe this is his first felony. He's never been on any kind of felony supervision or felony probation. Unfortunately, he's just fallen into the same situation that we see so many other youthful offenders fall into. He's got no direction in life. He's very little support at home. Sees no way out of the situation that he's in, so he goes and decides to rob a store and get some money. Did the wrong thing. And if his story in the PSI is to be believable for what I believe is the right reason, he's trying to help his mom out at home, trying to pay some bills, keep the lights on. Certainly, there are better ways to go about doing that. And I hope that the time in jail has taught Mr. Fontes that. So you're done. We've got options here, Judge. We can send him to prison or we can put him on probation. Certainly, he's on the road if this conduct continues, he's on the road with prison. I don't know that the day is the best time to make that exit for him. He's got a long life to live. We can send him to prison. He can be there for a few years and come back out. I don't know that he's going to get the help that he really needs in prison. There are programs available on probation that if he's serious about turning his life around, like he says in the PSI, those programs can help him. And if he does take advantage of those, it in turn would make the community a little bit safer. Because there'd be one less guy running around with a gun when he does get out of prison, if that were the road that you chose to take. Planning on living at home with his mom. I think he has some younger siblings there. To his benefit, before he was even arrested, he started a GED. I think on the night that this happened, he had just finished a GED class and made a dumb decision to go hang out with these guys that he should not have been hanging out with, and did this robbery. Again, Judge, you've got two options. You can send him to prison or you can try to get him some help on probation, and hopefully he will take advantage of that. And certainly if he doesn't, we're going to know pretty quick, and you'll have another chance to send him to prison probably for a longer time.
All right, thank you. What is the status of the other two? Are there co-defendants? Have they been charged?
They have been charged, Judge, and I have both of their cases, Judge.
And they have not been sentenced yet or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
Judge.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Coleman.
Yeah, I'll be brief. Whether it's the Pine Club Apartments or Rogers Park or a Speedy Mart, you've seen this, and we've seen this in this community all too often. I'm preaching to the choir, Judge. Prayer vigils and advisory committees, all that stuff's fine, but you judge where the rubber meets the road. You are that person that can protect the community from somebody like this defendant. You are that person that can either let him walk out of this courtroom on probation with a piece of paper with conditions and promises that he won't resort to this kind of violence that you saw on that video, or you can ensure that the community is safe by putting him behind steel bars, concrete wall, and razor wire fence. Judge, I'm just asking, I'm not in the habit of begging, but on behalf of this community, I'm begging that you send this defendant to prison. The message that needs to be sent to this defendant and his circle of friends and anybody who would want to be like this defendant is that if you pick up a gun with the intent to commit violence, you're going to pick up a 15, 20, 25-year prison sentence, Judge. And I'm just asking that you do this on behalf of people who live at the Pine Club Apartments who just want to live in peace, People who want to go take a walk at Rogers Park and not be robbed, and somebody that wants to stop at a Speedy Mart convenience store and pick up some snacks without becoming a victim of a robbery. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. So, Mr. Fontenette, there was a time some years ago that there really wasn't even a question. Everyone, state's attorneys were recommending youthful offenders, probation, let's give everybody an opportunity. And things have just changed in such an incredibly dangerous way with young people doing what I just saw you do on that screen. I cannot imagine the fear that person had that was working in that store, that he now has, just trying to go to work, make a living, and go home. And he has 3 people come in and not just grab a little quick something and run out, but terrorize him for quite some time. Pulling him around, yanking him around, putting guns in his face, all 3 of you. I also, in addition to the PSI, get jail incident reports. And you apparently like to fight and jump people, which is what's been happening in the jail. So it makes it very difficult for me to go, oh, this is somebody that's going to get out and behave, who can follow the rules, because you can't even follow the rules in jail. And the pre-sentence report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division. Come on, Mom. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification. This was not an agreement. You have some rights to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about any questions you have about that. I am making an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Mr. Fontenette, I understand that this is harsh, and I know you believe this is harsh, but I think this is necessary. I hope that you go and you make things right. You can get out of prison. You're still going to be young, and you can make your life better. That's going to be up to you, okay? You can go back with the bailiff.